Welcome back to the Liberal Union 911. Tonight, we begin with a moment military analysts once feared, quietly dismissed, and ultimately failed to anticipate. A strike that unfolded not over days or weeks, but in a matter of minutes. Minutes that laid bare the vulnerability at the core of what Moscow believed was its most secure territory. Minutes that shattered the carefully cultivated image of Russian invincibility, and minutes that cost Vladimir Putin one of his most valuable military assets, a billion-dollar air defense system long described as untouchable. What Ukraine achieved crossed a threshold the Kremlin hoped would never be breached, and when that barrier collapsed, Moscow was left without an immediate response, reacting instead with silence, confusion, and visible strain. For months, Russia had constructed what it described as an impenetrable shield around key military infrastructure, deploying advanced systems, elite units, and multiple defensive layers intended to deter any serious strike. Yet tonight we explain how Ukraine identified the weakness within that shield, exploited it with precision, and eliminated an asset Russia never believed could be reached. This is not merely the story of a single attack. It is the story of how the strategic balance of this war has shifted. For weeks prior, subtle indicators, outside official Ukrainian statements, suggested Kyiv was preparing something unprecedented. Ukraine's operations had followed a recognizable rhythm: ammunition depots, fuel facilities, command posts, repeated with methodical consistency. Then the pattern stopped. Intelligence analysts accustomed to tracking Ukrainian drone activity noticed the warning signs. Reconnaissance flights slowed, specialized units moved discreetly, encrypted communications surged between Ukraine's general staff and Western partners, and procurement activity appeared focused on components suited for a specific, highly complex mission. 3 weeks of silence followed, and history has shown that when Ukraine goes quiet, something decisive is coming. Russian military bloggers began reporting unexplained troop relocations and air defense rotations, but senior commanders misread the signals, interpreting the lull as exhaustion or dwindling Ukrainian capabilities. In reality, it was preparation. Early Tuesday morning, Russian early warning systems detected multiple aerial contacts approaching from the southwest, including flight profiles not observed in over a year and a half of war. These signatures signaled either a demonstration of capability, a strategic message to the Kremlin, or an attempt to destroy a truly high-value target, and possibly all three at once. The target was not a fuel depot or warehouse, but the centerpiece of Russia's Southern Integrated Air Defense Network, a newly deployed S-400 Triumf system, operational for less than 6 months and considered one of Moscow's crown jewels. The S-400 is not an ordinary system. It is Russia's flagship surface-to-air platform, capable of tracking hundreds of targets and engaging aircraft, drones, and ballistic missiles at extreme ranges, with each complete battery valued at roughly $1.2 billion and available in limited numbers. When Russian command issued its alert that morning, it was not routine, it was urgent. Crews scrambled, radars activated, and communications channels flooded with frantic transmissions as Ukraine's approach revealed itself to be unconventional, layered, and tailored specifically to exploit gaps in Russian doctrine. Russia's air defense strategy assumes predictable threats: high-altitude aircraft, known missile corridors, slow-moving drones, but Ukraine shattered those assumptions. The operation began with waves of decoy drones designed to activate radars and expose positions, followed by long-range drones carrying electronic warfare payloads that disrupted communications and targeting systems, and finally precision-guided munitions modified for this exact mission. Within 17 minutes of first contact, the protected zone was breached and the S-400 battery was destroyed. launchers eliminated, radar units neutralized, and the command post reduced to burning debris. Independent confirmations now indicate the strike was part of a broader, coordinated operation targeting Russian air defense assets across Crimea and occupied territories, striking radar installations first, command vehicles second, and launch platforms last, effectively blinding the network before dismantling it. What makes the operation remarkable is the intelligence behind it. The S-400 had been relocated just 10 days earlier, dispersed, camouflaged, and protected by multiple short-range systems, yet Ukraine knew the exact locations, crew rotations, and coverage gaps, intelligence that points to deep penetration of Russian military operations beyond satellite imagery alone. Western analysts believe Moscow repositioned the system to test Ukraine's strike capacity and assert a new protected zone, expecting restraint. Instead, Ukraine responded with calculated force, striking decisively while minimizing escalation risk. This precision underscores a broader reality. Ukraine is not acting out of desperation, but executing a coherent strategy, selecting targets carefully and achieving consistent results. Throughout the day, reports revealed the operation's full scale. Diversionary air activities along the front forced Russia to activate defenses and expose hidden positions. Naval drones targeted Black Sea vessels, providing radar coverage, and special operations units reportedly disrupted communications nodes deep in occupied territory. This was not a raid, but a multi-domain combined arms operation, an area Russia has struggled since the invasion began. The loss is more than financial. Sanctions, corruption, and talent loss limit Russia's ability to replace advanced systems, and each destroyed battery creates a defensive gap that cannot be quickly closed. Putin once believed Kyiv would fall in days, that Kyiv's leadership would flee, that NATO would fracture, and sanctions would fade. Instead, Ukraine stands resilient, its military increasingly sophisticated, NATO more unified, sanctions tightening, and Russian weaknesses exposed. The strike comes amid mounting pressure inside Russia, hardliners pushing escalation, pragmatists seeking an exit, elites demanding relief from sanctions, and security services prioritizing stability, leaving Putin balancing competing demands from a position of vulnerability rather than strength. The Pentagon's unusually direct response signaled that the United States will not allow Russia to establish escalation dominance or redefine protected zones unchallenged, reinforcing the message that no area is beyond reach. President Zelensky's address echoed that resolve, emphasizing Ukraine's refusal to accept imposed boundaries and thanking partners whose support made the operation possible. This moment is critical because it coincides with broader Russian military movements, strategic bomber patrols, naval deployments, and probing ground attacks, suggesting preparations for something larger, plans now likely disrupted by Ukraine's strike. Analysts are weighing whether Russia intended a major air campaign, a Black Sea no-fly zone, or groundwork for a renewed offensive. But whatever the objective, the loss of the S-400 forces a recalculation. As Moscow debates its response, escalation, retaliation, or strategic adjustment, Ukraine is already planning its next moves, demonstrating that continued Western support translates directly into battlefield impact. Tonight's events underscore a central truth of this war. Nothing Russia deploys is guaranteed safety. No system is immune, and the conflict's trajectory is being reshaped not by rhetoric, but by precision, intelligence, and resolve.